Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, a K-pop podcast or an East Asian pop culture podcast, hosted by a pair of dudes from the East Coast of the United States, sitting in their homes, wearing dad hats. All right,
the intro gets longer every time. It's longer every time.
With more unnecessary details. Like, I'm just going to describe both of our rooms, our entire furniture.
No, please don't.
They could see you. Let that be the magic for the video. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm Petey Rave, of course. Your guy over here. Here with me is my tag team partner, my partner in crime, my right hand man to my left hand side, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing well. I'm gonna just come out and admit it. I spent the whole day playing auto chess. If you don't know what auto chess is, good for you.
I've all of my experience with auto chess has been through Ben Pack and Giant Bomb. And I know there's Dota auto chess within their Dota environment. There's also a reasonable facsimile on mobile called Red Tide.
Oh, that one? Yeah, I didn't download that one. I downloaded this one, Auto Chess Defense, which literally the first review says, yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, from what I see of Red Tide, it's a similar thing with yeah, it's close enough. Also there's going to be the official mobile version.
Because Valve don't play. They were like, oh, is that popular? Well, don't worry. Give us about a month.
Oh, no, I don't think... Well, is Valve even involved? Because that'd be funny.
It's in their thing, and they've already said they will work on a standalone version.
Because I know that I got linked on Instagram to a page, but it's just the version name. But I don't know. That being said, Dota Auto Chess, that's his own thing. Let's not turn this into the Auto Chess podcast. We can create a new one for that. The auto. We'll have to come. We can't say the names here because somebody will steal it. No burning names right now. It'd be great names. Let's not talk about auto chess. Let's talk about East Asian pop culture. Of course, we talk about talk about what's new every time on the opening of the show. Talk about what's going on. What's caught our attention since we last gathered. Kaz, what's going on? What's new?
So new for me this week is actually not necessarily what I was listening to, but the new Winter song, Millions, or not that new. It's posted last year, but it's a song that I kept meaning to bring up, and I might have, but it's just, I don't know, it's a fun song that came back around for me, and I really enjoy this song. And it feels like one that we missed because it's just so fun. It's really colorful and vibrant, and just the boys at Winter being dope.
Yeah, I would say it's one that we somehow missed out on, probably because of weird long hiatuses and things got lost in the cracks. But it's one that's definitely been a consistent one in the the playlists that I listen to on Spotify, and whether it's on K-pop dance mix or that daily mix that Spotify makes of me, that because they know K-pop. I'm gonna be honest, just straight up, you want to know my K-pop fandom, my daily mix 1 is all K-pop. If you know your Spotify daily mixes, your daily mix 1 is usually your most common one. So the daily mix 1 usually is K-pop, and we'll sometimes include the song, and it's fun. It's it's has a really cool energy. It has it's just a fun song. It's fun, engaging, up tempo. It's catchy. It's neat. I know you had some comments on the video.
Yeah, there's a part early on in this video that I never paid that much attention to until now, where it's they tried to make Mino look uh so much like G Dragon. It's like so close. If you just look wrong for that slight second, you're just like, oh no, it's not.
Yeah, like it's just one of those things. It's like the dynamic within YG is like this is both Winter and Icon are supposed to be their replacement, Bang Bang, and especially they need them more than ever before. But like they decided to split them up. So I would, which is funny that they make Mino look like a G Dragon, because I could have sworn in the dynamic of him and Bobby, he was more the top than anything.
Yeah, but they're on two different sides, so you gotta go for what you got.
But no, yeah, Mino kind of works more like the G Dragon, where Bobby is his own thing.
Yeah,
Bobby's just Bobby. Yeah, Bobby's his own weird character. But yeah, this is just a dope winter song in the winter.
Yeah. Moving on from there, to kind of just keep it going, is the boys from NCT 127 with their song Superhuman. Has this very like old school SF sound.
Yeah.
If you kind of know that old school, like at this point, old school boy band SM sound, like it is so in that wheelhouse, and so is the video. So it just kind of made me nostalgic for 2009 K-pop.
9 to 10, like, or like it was Shiny, like Everybody era Shiny, which I think is a little bit after that, but like totally, like it harkens back to certain sounds. Them mixed with a little bit of like early EXO, and like it works well. I think I like it's a little nostalgic, but it's a nice like upgrade to the sound, and I think it works well. And I still don't know how I feel about NCT as a concept, or as a group, but there's good songs that come out of it. And it was like, I could probably just go ahead and take that out of it. Still don't know who's in the group or who's not, and who's one. I think there's a guy named Johnny, and there's like a Mark, and then there's like other guys, and I know there's the baby group and the adult group. I'm still learning though. So it's tough. You've decided to inject AKB into my K-pop, and like I'm like I was having trouble even grasping the idea when it was just AKB. Now you decided to bring it into to this world, and you're gonna have to give me some time. You're just gonna have to give me some time. But yeah, it's a good song. It's a really good song.
It is. It's good. It's fun. I just kind of want to see it. Just kind of keep going. See what they do.
Yeah. But last but not least.
Last but not least is a song by a young man called Wen, I think, even though his Instagram says whatever. WH, the letter 3, then N. And this is a song called Call. It's a piano ballad. Nothing new, but it's fun. I enjoyed it. And I just really liked listening to it. I really liked kind of the sound of his voice. His voice is really, really good. And I just thought it was worth bringing up and telling people to check it out.
Yeah, it is. It's not it's not the most out there song in the world, and it definitely feels like one of those. It is a piano ballad. You would expect this from an artist. I wanted to check out his other stuff, see if this is his ballad, like he has other stuff that is a different sound, or if this is just his sound. but it definitely has that sound of like somebody who does like hip hop, or somebody does hip hop R&B, or somebody does that. This is being like the song they do is like their ballad and stuff like that, which is nice. I'm not gonna say it's totally my thing, but it's nice. It's a nice song. It's well made. It's very much like one of those, uh, and it works well for what it does. As being kind of like the emotional song, the emotional pop ballad that it is. And really the vocal showcase that it is, which is kind of like what it exists for. Is like, okay, here's all the notes I can hit, and here's my emotiveness, and here's how I can show you how to. It's like, here's my soul, quote unquote. Here's how I can like sing with soul, and like it's like here's my, and you almost want to kind of like have a difficulty rating underneath, and to say, and then maybe the judges score at the end. So, but overall quality.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, it's a good song. Moving over to my stuff. I have a couple of songs I had to kind of like cut because there was a lot of like, different releases, and that were intriguing and interesting. Even like girl group releases, like the new AXID is neat. And I might bring it up later, and we still haven't brought it up twice, even though it's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
It's like it's our Matt Damon now, apparently. But I have a couple of nice releases from solo female artists. Kind of like one is a follow up, or actually a couple of follow ups, and somebody reappearing from the middle of nowhere. But let's get down to it. Soyun, who we've talked about before, who recently debuted as a solo artist, finally came out with her album. I guess like her EP. And with it came a new single, and then like audio versions of a bunch of other songs on YouTube. But her new single, her new music video for The City, or Sleep City, or something like that. And it is more of like that sound, more of like what I liked about the other single, which is she has a really cool voice. She has a really cool like songwriting style. She is a pretty, like, her songs are really cool and interesting, and have a like really cool vibe to them. And like her attitude is conveyed really well through her songs. It's like, but like the big thing is like this one in particular kind of brings in some cool things, like a very synth sound, very synth wavy sound, kind of. Which I think works really well for this video, for this track, and I think for her voice in particular. They of course kind of do the 4x3 style for the music video, though they did decide to put things in the black bars on the side so that the music video can stay 4x3. But that's fine. It's not like it was supposed to be.
It's very artistic. It's like they tried to make it. So there's this thing that I don't like. It's when you try to make digital look like film.
Yeah.
I know what you're going.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look. It never looks good with those fake cracks and fuzz in there, because like the thing about it with film is it's unique because it's not always the same. So when you do it in digital, there's a pattern, and you see that pattern, and it gets annoying when you can see that pattern.
Yeah. So it's a thing, but I think for other than that, I think the video is cool, and the song is cool, and her vocals are really good. And the instrumental is really cool, and it has just a cool attitude. What do you think, Kaz?
No, like I said, I like the song. I really think the song is awesome. Like, that was literally my only gripe is that fake filter on the video. But like, I really love this kind of like indie pop, synth pop sound that she has.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping its growth allows for the growth of more of that indie pop scene that is in Korea that we've talked about with other groups. Like, I hope it makes people want to hear more of that, because there are some dope groups that do that stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be some more stuff in the future from some different groups, and that's going to be exciting. But yeah, this song is really cool and worth checking out. I think from what I've heard of the EP, the EP is pretty rad. I'm going to go sit down with it at some point and just kind of consume it when I have a moment, just to kind of like get into my head. But it should be cool. So I'm looking forward to more of Hwang So-yoon, aka So-yoon. But yeah, moving on to another artist we talked about earlier this year. I think this year, late last year, something like that. I don't know. Katie, aka Katie Kim, from one of the, I think it was Superstar K, formerly of YG, now with this new collective, this new group called Axis. Kind of like being head up by the former creative director that she was working with at YG, kind of continuing their work together. Katie finally releasing her EP Log. It is not big nor heavy nor wood, but it is better than bad. It's good. It's actually a pretty cool EP, and it has some cool sounds in it, including the new track Thinking About You, which is pretty dope. Like there's something really cool about what they're building with the sound. It's very modern, that's for sure, and it's pulling from things that exist already in the world, but I think doing it well, and they're kind of crafting a very cool vibe and a cool style with what they're presenting with Katie now. It's all in English, which is intriguing, that's for sure. And it's very much like she said that they have very much been working with like American songwriters, and she's even moved to LA. So this is very much like, they're pushing to a Western audience, and they're pushing to Western sound, even though the company is Korean and she is Korean. So it's very intriguing, like the approach of that. And I think it makes for ultimately makes for a cool sound, really cool song. Her voice is really nice, and I think it fits really well in this song in particular. And like it has a cool like vibe to it, there's a cool soulful, sultry vibe kind of.
Yeah,
and it works really well. What do you think, Cass?
It does. It's. I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's hard. It's hard to instantly place it, but it's. She definitely has a really good voice, and she seems to kind of have a good presence. But we definitely have to wait and see what more is going to be of it. But she has a really good voice, and I'm excited to just hear more from her. I definitely want to hear her like collab with somebody, do like that kind of R&B rap or something like that. Like the rap artist, I think would be.
Yeah, like that version of Remember they released with Ty Dolla $ign was interesting. And it's up there on YouTube, and they had a music video, though. I say that one was a little weird because it's like they almost did Ty Dolla $ign's singing feature like a rap feature, where he's like, it's like, okay, she sang it, her thing, her, like the way the song, and then he sang it like his own interpretation, like his own melody and his own thing, which is a little odd. So it's almost like they changed the melody. Like this half of the song has this melody, while this half of the song has this melody. Where that approach usually works a little bit better with rap features as a change of pace. But it still makes for like an interesting collab between the two of them. But yeah, I would like to see her like actually collaborate with like rap artists to pepper in some compelling rap features into our tracks. I have to look and see if there's one on the EP, but yeah, that would sound cool. That would be an intriguing development for sure. Yeah. So
what else you got?
Lim Kim. That's a name that people have been thinking about recently. Mainly because Lim Kim was an artist that kind of broke in with a duo, I think on K-pop Star, speaking of people that were on competition shows. But I'm going to try to look that because I just realized I'm not sure. People that have been on a show, I think it was K-pop Star, Superstar K3. As a duo, they kind of like went on to do the thing. They kind of went on, kind of debuted together, and then at some point, kind of went on hiatus. As the male member Denny Do of the group kind of went back to school, and then like Lim Kim debuted as a solo artist. Kind of went on to do her thing. Released an album which I have back there. Goodbye 20, which is a pretty interesting album. After signing with Mystic 89, released other kind of like singles and things like that, which were intriguing. Like Simple Mind was a pretty cool thing. And then sometime 2015 was the last time she released music. 2016 she left the label and then was never heard from again. Like, she had no social media. People were concerned about her whereabouts. Nobody knew what she was doing at all. She just kind of disappeared off the face of the planet for all intents and purposes. And people were unsure of what to expect, what the deal became of everything, what the deal was. And then we got like somebody discovered that there was a YouTube channel up with, that she had put up a YouTube channel, and then she had an Instagram, and then there was a teaser. Some kind of random
motherfucker was typing that shit into YouTube every day.
Somebody again, like, it's been a discussion lately, but somebody has been looking at that like, I'm gonna check again to see if I find something new. Holy shit, I found something new. See, they told me I was crazy searching Lim Kim every single day, 3 times a day. Now who's the crazy one? Spoiler alert, still that guy. But yeah, so there was a new teaser on her Instagram, and she had her Instagram, I think a new Instagram or an old, or revived her Instagram. Might have revived her Instagram because I know it's verified. And kind of posted a teaser video image on that for a new track, and then there was a release date, and then just suddenly dropped a new track, just an official, this is the audio version, there's no music video. So, and even
kind of like visual element.
There's like a visualizer. I would say this is as much of like a visualizer than anything. Like, this is slightly above just the album art and some like some audio meters. This is slightly above, where it's just a
desktop back.
It's like a little like screensaver or desktop background. But it is interesting because so their new song called Salki, and it is fascinating because just out of nowhere the song comes out, and it is kind of in your face, especially lyrically. If you kind of do the description that has this song lyrics, it almost seems very pointed, talking about, kind of like literally name checking things like male gaze, and things like being sexualized, and things like uh it's almost like a slow paced rap track. Like she's came back, she's a rapper now. And she's hard, but like it's really good. Like it's really well made. It's very intriguing. It's very intense. It's very interesting.
I need to listen to it a few more times before I have any real understanding, because I kind of just saw what your stuff was like right before we decided to record, so I was just listening to it a little bit, and I was just like, I have that instant reaction of like, this is weird, and then I was like, but it's interesting. It's saying something. It's something.
And it's all in English. It was fascinating, and it's like the last, I think the last bars, because this is some bars. The last line, like if you look at the lyrics, like head down when I pull up, strike hard when it's cooled off. There's probably I'm unfuckable creature, not a young average schoolgirl. Decolonize from weakness, overpower their system. Staying raw is my wisdom. Turn wilderness into the kingdom. Like, okay. Okay. Like, Lim Kim disappeared and came back woke as fuck. So, like, it is interesting to say the least. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is going forward, and what, like, if she, as she continues her comeback. I almost feel like this is a very much a signal to say that she's not necessarily. I'm gonna venture to guess she might not actually be coming back to K-pop. I'm gonna go on a limb, maybe saying that. Like, maybe she's just releasing some music where she's gonna say some shit, and like, that's it. like, and it's not necessarily, she's not gonna necessarily be, on some TV shows or going on Music Bank. I'd be surprised if she went on Music Bank back and this shit. I'm pretty sure that she might just put up a SoundCloud, like, and just post some shit. Like, I'm just
nothing wrong with that.
And I'm definitely intrigued. I'm very intrigued. But yeah, she's definitely she definitely put it up on all of the music platforms, so she has somebody distributing, and she's worked with some people on all this, so it's not nothing. But it's very intriguing, to say the least. So I'm looking forward to seeing more what Lim Kim, and if there's like an album that comes out of this, or at least a mini album, or just more, maybe, I don't know, like some more diss tracks. That'd be awesome. Some diss tracks. So looking forward to what else comes from Lim Kim. Yeah, that's it for what's new. Now we transition over to our headline segment. So while I push the button, hold on right there and sit right there and hold your butts. I should be more smoother with that. Oh well. Welcome back to the ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the headline segment here on Hallyujuku. We're talking about some topical topics, things that are going on in the world of East Asian pop culture. What are the happenings and goings on? Some of the interesting things. All right, let's get down to it. To the first headline. Further along, kind of like the TS Entertainment bullshit. Hyosung sued by TS Entertainment for 1 billion won over contract termination lawsuit she won.
Yeah.
Hyosung, yeah.
Like very much lately we've been hearing about contract disputes, so it's just one of those things that is going on in all realms of entertainment.
Yeah.
And this is just another one where that company feels like they got the short end of the stick, so they want to bitch about it.
Yeah. He also, as was previously reported, like the courts ruled in her favor, saying that with the contract termination, and ordered TS Entertainment or pay her over 100,000, 100 grand. And TS Entertainment decided that they announced there were plans to appeal, which happens, and they're also gonna countersue with like the affirmation billion won, or roughly around 800K.
Yeah.
$800,000. Like, and it is bold. It's like, it is bold in that they're legitimately trying to be as petty as possible, as they say on this Asian Rookie article. Like, they're talking about how she turned down commercials, so they lost about 1 billion won in ad revenue, which is hilarious because they're almost tipping their hand about the money coming in at the same time that the whole dispute started with them not paying her. Like, oh, so there was money coming in, huh?
No. What you gotta understand is,
so like, was there money coming in, or was there not money? Like,
yeah.
At this point, it is the most comically petty that a company can be, and there's really not much else to say about that. It's just worth kind of touching on that. It is just almost hilarious that they want to be this petty. Yeah. I don't know. Moving on. So that's all there is to touch on that. Moving on. Yoo Byung Jae ditches YG Entertainment, takes his manager with him. Yoo Byung Jae, who's pretty fantastic. Yoo Byung Jae is a writer, comedian, pretty cool guy. Really talented comic talent. Really talented comedian, really pretty funny. Kind of has a very unique style, because like he's very sarcastic and dry in a country where sarcasm and dryness is not really the thing. Not really. At least not is what is mainstream popular in what you consider mainstream comedy in Korea. I'm sure there are dry comics here and there, but Korea is a gag country. They like their gags and they like their pratfalls. But he's really talented with that, and of course he had signed with YG Entertainment back in like 2015. He's been with the company. He kind of has had his fun, has had his freedom to be able to leave, even diss the company. But with all the shit that's been going down, that we've kind of been definitely avoiding, just because, boy oh boy, that's just too big of an elephant to really talk about in that room. That definitely just. We got to carve that elephant down before we can even touch it.
Yeah.
But because of that, he decided he didn't want. Well, I mean, coinciding with all of that, he's decided that he stopped doing a lot of the jokes about the company just because things started to get serious, and he decided to just bounce. Like, this is probably one of the bigger first signs of people like cutting and running from this ship. Maybe like the first canary, in a sense, like, or maybe not, but like it is definitely not a sign of good things.
No, it definitely isn't like what you want to see from a YG perspective, is to have people who have the ability to do that, who have the ability to be like, you know what, this isn't gonna work, like to just be more than somebody who decide leaves, right? Because then you control the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's what he's always trying to do and that's a lot of companies, not me, but that's how a lot of companies do shady shit, is they try to control the narrative. They try to control what you hear and what you see about a person, so that you might think ill of that person when you think ill of the company that they were in or at, or whatever.
Yeah. So it is not. We'll have to see how this plays out going forward. It's definitely seems like probably the best move for him, just because there have been there have been protests, there have been boycotts, there have been like at least a couple of colleges boycotting booking Winner and Icon at their college festivals, because obviously I believe College Festival, I almost said obvious, but because I believe the college festival season has begun, so you're seeing a lot of performances out there. And usually a lot of K-pop groups get booked on some of the more prominent, at some of the more prominent universities, but at least Winner and Icon, they've kind of like they've both had to look up exactly. Let me see. Boycott, because North students. I'm not gonna say which website I'm reading the article from, but it's the one that shall not be named. But more students boycott YG artists at their campus festival due to the Burning Sun scandal. Myungji University, students opposing their Icon appearance, and then you had Hanyang University, various students encouraging their student government to cancel Winner's attendance at their festival. It is something. There's like, it is something. It is causing a stir. It is not entirely a YG connected scandal, but YG is adjacent enough, and with Seungri having at this point formerly been there, there's a taint.
Yeah, and I mean that's what happens in situations like that. And I mean, you hate to see it because you do like it, respect for the started. Right? That you still feel like you. But as much as I do like them, I don't like.
Yeah. As much as you.
It's bottom line. That's gonna come back on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the sentiment that as much as you like. Yeah. As much as we like the artists, like you said, as much as we like the artists, the company and things that they may or may not be connected with, it's not fun to think about that. And then could not happen to the nicest people. It could not happen to nicer people. A nicer person like Young PD being the man who sabotaged his future wife's career because he had a crush on her, and then harassed her over the phone for 2 hours to begin dating him. and then presents it on TV shows like it's a love story. Great guy. Just always remember that. The fucking young PD. But yeah, that's the latest. That's the latest palatable, chewable morsel of that big meaty thing that we can at least wrap our heads around. I will say, we'll see what we'll do in the future. I think probably I'm not gonna say after it's all said and done, because like that's gonna be probably a long time at this point. But maybe when we can set aside some time to sit down, construct things, and be able to like approach it from a constructed, prepared, or at least with a better understanding, so we don't like just ramble on about a bunch of things for 2 hours like we usually do. I don't know. We'll have to see when we can do that, but it is definitely something we'll have to kind of like look at as a whole. That whole burning Molka thing, but right now is not the time. But yeah, moving on. Speaking of scumbag companies, Pledis announced official disbandment of Pristin, who didn't have much of a chance. This is according to this article on Asian Junkie. So Pristin was a group that was a post-Produce 101 group, one of the kind of several. It was home of Nayoung of IOI, and I believe Nayoung and Yeolkyung, both of, I think maybe one other person, but at least them. They had a pretty solid debut. Had a couple of nice songs. They had especially the nice release with Pristine V, but they just were very obviously being completely neglected by Pledis, almost in a very familiar way to anybody that has been a fan of After School. And they just never were given a chance to break through. They kind of like had one song or comeback, like, and then they were just in the proverbial dungeon, as the cliche goes. There was the debut, High Pristine, the comeback, and it was 2017, and then nothing in the subsequent 2 years, or almost 2 years. And like it was almost absurd. Like you have this group there. I'm not necessarily saying that it's a group that, this group is definitely a winner of, there's definitely a surefire hit, like they can print money or anything, but like this group that you have, it's your bird in your hand, and you do absolutely nothing with them.
Nothing. Yeah.
Like nothing. Yeah,
but
like
we've talked about it because it's so these groups that seem to hit, but then you're waiting to come back, and then the next announcement you get is a disbandment. So you're like, what happened? Happened in those between moments, like, because I thought it was going to go somewhere, and then nope.
Yeah, or you don't even get the disbandment announcement sometimes. You just have to guess. At least this time you got the disbandment announcement. It is very frustrating. There's, of course, people namely Kyla, I think getting some unfair blame when it really is, which is almost kind of silly. I was, of course, like
Paint the picture of we trying is this, but we couldn't because this person. So yeah, that damn that person, and it's like that probably acted like a situation.
um yeah, I don't know. It is a big disappointment to kind of like see this happen to this group. Not that Pristin, it was the debut song was pretty good, and I don't really remember much about their comeback, but it's so it's like, and I remember Pristin V at least being a really solid release, but it is almost comical how a company can get away with this level of incompetence. But it's like you realize, like, wow, there's so many companies out there. I like at some point you have to like imagine that at some point they would go broke and go away, but like then you realize a lot of it is, I don't know. They do have 17. So it's almost like they have 17, and they're, when you have a successful, good boy group, you kind of are printing money, and then mostly just kind of keeps you alive. And so like that's the only thing I can think of that because they're certainly not competent. They're certainly don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know. I wouldn't say I probably shouldn't say it that way, but like there are so many issues at hand of like you can do something. You can do something with the members of the group. You can have them go out and perform at shows. Like the biggest thing with, and I think we haven't even touched it in this moment because I think we touched it before, but the biggest thing with Pristin has always been that the fact that they haven't, not only just like comebacks, because obviously we get that it's understandable that comebacks and promotions and things like that, those cost a lot of money, and you can't always have those. I mean, of course, you can't spend 2 years without doing anything, but if it takes like a little bit of time to have a comeback, that's fine. But the fact that they didn't have them out there doing even like live performance gigs, like the aforementioned college festivals, and like or just like doing fan meetings, like you at the very least, like during your downtime, you have like, I don't know, random fan signs at different like restaurant openings or something, like a new pop-up store brand for like a makeup brand or something comes out, and they have you do a fun fan sign there, like, or something like that, or you like work a festival, or you have like your individual members do like birthday fan meetings, like anything.
I mean, it's hard, right? Just because, well, not just because, but one of the things that I think makes that hard is the fact that people don't see those things, and they just don't know what to do about it. You know what I mean? Like it's really tough to just kind of take. I don't know. It's hard to like take that information and just know that like that. I don't know. It's just
Yeah. I think the one quote here in the Asian Junkie article, which he has it in this tweet. If you're gonna give a group like one comeback to become a mega hit before disbanding them, why bother? Like, at that point, why bother? It's like,
Yeah.
that about sums it up. Yeah. All right. Moving on to another hot mess. Uh, just to touch on Mahohon's graduation a little bit. Not a huge story, but I just wanted to touch on a couple of like fascinating things, especially looking at this like I am from outside looking in. Mahohon's graduation definitely did not go without drama. Because a couple of things. First of all, AKS was not allowing other members to attend the graduation concert.
Yeah.
And of course, there's like things about Akimoto Yasuyuki's role, but there was definitely word of following news that AKS would sue the perpetrators of the assault. That was soon to be former NGT member Yamaguchi Maho in order to get them to talk, thus seemingly validating their third-party investigation. Blah blah blah. It was revealed that only Maho, Hasegawa Reina, and Sugahara Riko would appear at the trio's upcoming graduation concert. Apparently, it's not for lack of trying, because the AKS reportedly prohibited any 48 group member from attending, according to Hashimoto Haruna. Hashimoto Haruna said that they wanted to go for Mahohon, but for the graduation, but the AKS staff decided no one from any group would be going. Yeah, they could have probably, which is like it's kind of a almost comical slap in the face. Like, they're treating her like the perpetrator of some crime.
Yeah.
Which in their eyes she is, as the person that deigned to speak up on her own behalf and caused trouble for them. It is almost comically petty. Like, God, this is a fuck it. I'm calling this episode Comically Petty. Like, it is comically petty and backwards way of thinking and way of treating her. Well, what is your perspective? How do you see this?
No, I agree. It's like when you first sent me that article, it's like, wait, did the person get the names wrong? Did they mean infinite? And I thought of trying to. Yeah.
Well,
And
Skype outright just ate all of your words.
I said it's their dumb way of trying to show her, and this is what kind of the Japanese idol industry is just known for being.
Yeah. It is disheartening, especially, and I can only imagine it's even more so if you are an AKB fan, or if you are, especially an NGT fan, in their city. Like, if you've been following them for a while, like I imagine many have, it is almost comically disheartening. And then there was further drama. This one is almost a little bit more comical. It almost it was a little bit more like silly, but kind of like fascinating to watch. Kato Minami complains about seeing Yamaguchi Maho on TV, gets demoted and banned from social media. Not just her, man, but she made it worse for everyone else. Soon to be former NGT48 member Yamaguchi Maho held her final theater performance recently on May 18th. That made the news, where it was even shown in a nail salon. That would seem irrelevant to things, but as if to prove how everybody surrounding this is out of touch, NGT48 captain Kato Minami commented on seeing her in the news on her recent Instagram stories. Minami posted a photo on her Instagram story at a nail salon. The picture on television can be seen showing footage from Maho's graduation. Along with the picture, Minami posted the caption, quote, "Even though I'm doing my nails, I want someone to change the channel," end quote. That seems like not her best choice of commentary. It's because it wasn't. And somebody relayed that to her quickly because the update was deleted soon after. And there was update. There was back and forth. She had basically her explanation was basically that she meant to do that on her private account, not her public account. Not she meant to post it on her private talk shit account, not her public pretty idol account.
I love the you can't save face from the fact that you talk. So it's like I talk shit, but but what I had meant was
like y'all wasn't supposed to see that. My bad. That was on my side account. I wasn't supposed to get this ratchet on my main account. It's almost comical. There's not much else to say about that other than you done fucked up, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that's what it is.
Damn. Skype once again ate all your words.
I said any chance these girls generally see to move up in the stands against each other, they take it.
Yeah. It is, and that's the thing. The hyper competitive nature of it all. It's by design. It's not almost by design. It's by design. It's to make it's to drive their passion. We all know how it works. All right. That we can touch on this last one. I'm not familiar with the group. This is his headline. There's not much to say because I don't think either one of us is familiar with this group. I don't think. But this is still just a fascinating headline. Hey, say jump. Or hey, say jump. Cancels arena tour due to fans' bad behavior. Hey Say Jump has canceled its arena tour in response to fans' continued misbehavior. Fans of the group have become a nuisance to the public as the group travels. Fans follow them to public transportation hubs, such as train stations and airports, creating crowds that disrupt the public. Blah blah blah. You can imagine they every boy group that's known to man. You can imagine the thing where all the screaming girls grew up and fucking and people are just trying to get to work.
We talked about some stories a couple of weeks ago about fans. That is bad and toxic, right?
I would say, Kaz, against Skype.
This is a showing of bad and toxic fan behavior. Whereas we talked about a story where it wasn't as clear that the behavior was toxic.
Yeah.
You gotta learn. You gotta kind of learn your pacings, and
yeah. I definitely I think the main thing that was definitely fascinating. Yeah, it's very much something very familiar with this bad and toxic behavior, but it's fascinating that management finally just decided you know what. Fuck it. Nobody gets to have fun. This is it. You've ruined it. You ruined it for everyone. Nobody gets to have fun. And they actually straight up canceled their arena tour that apparently they've had every year since their debut in 2007. It's almost they hope that by taking the this last line, the group hopes that by taking drastic measures, fans will learn to behave appropriately and that touring can resume next year. We'll see. We'll see. All the best of luck to Heisei Jump's management, and all the best of luck to everyone else involved. It's a hustle out there. That brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Kaz, what's going on in your world? What are you up to?
If the Skype gods will let me, I've been just kind of on.
and it just cuts you off right there. You've angered the Skype gods.
They know. They already know.
Yeah. There will be Sports Odds and Ends at sportsoddsands.com, DKG Whelp at dkgtv.com, or twitch.tv/drunkkidsgaming.
New website in the works.
Yeah, new style, new website, new thing.
In the works.
Yeah. And we begin the long, spattering, ramshackle preparation for TwitchCon later this year.
Something like that.
Something like that. There's already arguments and there's already people sniping each other, and that's always fun. So look forward to that. He's at King Kaz. I'm at P Rave. The show is at Hallyujuku. We're at hallyujuku.com or kpoppodcast.com. Coincidentally, also at jpoppodcast.com, even though we don't talk about J-pop all too much, but we did some this week.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
But yeah, keep an eye out for more stuff. Check us out everywhere you find podcasts. Rebelli.net for this and other shows. You can find us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/rebellitv. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher.
Let me straight, Doctor.
All the different places you can find podcasts. Subscribe to our feed is right there on our website. You can even just input it yourself.
Give it straight, Doctor.
Yeah, subscribe, like, share, do all the things. Until next time.
Why, I think you're crazy.
Hasta los huevos. Annyeong. Fighting.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.